This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is not a lock. It is a rare and extremely expensive lock defeat tool that even most locksmiths have probably never seen or heard of before. In fact, it's obscure enough that the example displayed in the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C. is mislabeled as, quote, lock-picking deluxe. And while this does open locks, it has nothing to do with picking. The actual name given by the inventor is somewhat wordy. It's the Pinlock Pin-in-Cam system, invented by the well-known British toolmaker John Fowle. Now, I have an old video of John demonstrating the tool, and he said he only planned to make a few dozen of them, but I believe that number went up significantly when the tool started to be included in tradecraft training for groups associated with the US government. So, why would this tool be attractive to government operators? Well, it opens and decodes locks, but a lot of tools and methods do that. This tool does it while leaving very few scratches, dents, or other markings that would reveal to a forensic examination that the lock was compromised. Let's take a look at how it works. The tip of the tool obviously replicates a key, and it is limited to a single key system. This one works on the union key system that's common in the UK. Each pin position has a separate detachable part. Let me take one of those off so you can see it. To be very careful here. Okay, here is that tiny little part, and I want you to note the little ball bearing that sits underneath it. I'll show you what that's for in just a moment. Let's put that back in. It's a little bit tricky. There we go. Now, the other major component to this system is the key part dispenser. Inside of this dispenser is a key part for each factory height for each pin position on the key. Because of that, you can insert the tool into the dispenser and literally dial up any bidding you want. So for instance, let's say I had a surveillance photo of this key and I can visually decode it to, say, 52522. I could literally just 52522, lock all of them in position, and I now have the key to this lock. Now, while that is cool, it is not what this is for. Let's reset this, and I'll show you its really great features. Remember that tiny little ball bearing that sat underneath each key part? Well, when you move this slider, a small bump or cam in the tip of it, you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. See that tiny little bump there? That pushes up on the ball bearing. And when it pushes up, it causes this piece to move a minuscule amount. Let me try to show you that. We'll move, let's say, the very middle key piece. You can see that moving just a tiny little bit. We'll move the one next to it now. Okay. Why is that minuscule movement important? Well, it tells us if the pin above it is binding, if you move this slider while simultaneously gently rotating the tool. As most of you know from picking, a binding pin is at the incorrect height. So essentially, we can find the correct bidding by eliminating all the incorrect bidding combinations, sort of like key impressioning. Now, that may not make a whole lot of sense, but let me show you the tool in action, and I think you will understand. Start with this one. You'll note that I have all of the pin positions at their maximum height. I insert this, I gently turn it, and then I pull down until I find the ones that are binding the most. So 5 is binding, 4 is binding, and that's it. So what I do is I insert the tool into the dispenser, unlock the key positions, move 5 and 4 down one position, relock them, and insert the tool again. 4 is binding, just 4. Three is binding again. And you'll note that I'm turning in both directions to see if it gives me a different result. Three is binding again. Four is binding, so is 2. And the other direction, nope, just 4 and 2. Five is binding, is the only one binding. There we go. We got this open. Okay, let's reset it and do it one more time on this lock. We reset by inserting, unlocking the key position, pin position part. Relock them and let's start over. Two is binding, and I believe 4. Five is binding, so is 2. Okay, and that one opened just a little bit quicker. All right, folks, I have a lot of rare and unusual tools in my collection, but this has to be one of my favorites, especially when you consider the absurd precision required for this to work correctly. So my hat is off to the maker. Building this was an ambitious project, and he nailed it. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you.